Welcome into Intentional Lounging, brought to you guys by Better and Green. Today we're breaking down the AFC, our fourth year of breaking down the NFL. I'm just so excited. I can't wait. We had a great episode last week, if you guys missed it, breaking down NFL futures. But I'm Ben, with me is Ethan and Wyatt. We're talking about the AFC. We're starting up north, the AFC North. Let's start with Wyatt, because I want to hear what you think about this team. I'm pretty high on the Ravens, but I don't know about you. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same stuff every single year. Ravens, I think, are tied to be the Super Bowl favorite. We were kind of low on the Ravens last year, thinking Derrick Henry was going to succumb to his old age, and he had one of the best years of his career. So I think I am going to go back to that original thought in another year older. They didn't really make a whole lot of acquisitions during the offseason that I've loved. So I'm going to plan on Derrick Henry having more of a down year. So I'm not going to be super high on the Ravens. They are a minus 165 to win this division, which is it's the second highest on all the AFCs to win their division. I don't know. It sounds dumb not to take the Ravens to win it, but I'm going to take a shot, and I'm going to get super square here. It seems, or not square, super sharp, and maybe a little square as well. I'm actually going to take the Steelers to win this conference. And I know that sounds crazy, and I know it's because of maybe we're following the Aaron Rodgers bandwagon here. We saw how well that worked out in the Jets, but they're plus 500 to win this. They seem like they get 9-10 wins every single year. They're at least 500. I think there's a crazy stat out there with the Steelers getting above 500 for like 15 straight years. So I'm going to take a shot on plus 500. So we'll take the Steelers at the top. And then we got Joe Burrow, who was on fire last year. Probably would have won the MVP if he was on a better record team. But I'm going to take the Bengals at number 2 in the AFC North. And then I'm going to take the Ravens at 3. Then the Browns, I think they'd be happy to win 3 games this year. I like their win total going under 4.5 wins. They already have a fiasco at quarterback. They just signed Huntley? Is that who they got?
Yeah.
I mean, that's their 7th quarterback. We still forget they have Deshaun Watson over there. Shadur Sanders is Shadur. Gabriel is not good. Flacco, I ultimately love Flacco, but he's 45 years old. I'm not very heavy on the Browns, so I'll take them dead last. But yeah, I'm not going to have the Ravens to do as good as people think. They might come in, they probably should win this division, but I'm going to take a shot at them finishing 3rd, and the Steelers, maybe Rodgers has a little Tom Brady second to last year winning a Super Bowl. I know that's not going to happen, but I like their cast. They got DK. Rodgers always loves the big wide receivers. So we're going to take a shot at the Steelers. Hot one right off the bat to win the AFC North plus 500.
I'm going right to Ethan because I know exactly where he lands on the Steelers.
Well, I think he just became Shitty Cat's best friend. So
yeah, he did.
There.
Yeah, he did.
But I couldn't disagree more. I love the Ravens. I think the Ravens, gun to my head, that's my Super Bowl pick. I know it's not flashy. They're the favorite for a reason. I think Lamar is obviously last year had just an incredible season. Arguably should have, could have won MVP. I still think Josh was a touch better, but he's limited the turnovers. He is as good of a passer now as he is a rusher. I think Derrick Henry fits in really well with the offense. Good line, great coach who's been there, done that. Good defense. I'm all in on Baltimore yet again this season. So I think they easily win that division. I don't really know who challenges them. If anyone, I'd say it's the Bengals, but I think their team's going to be similar to last year where they're going to need to win by shootouts. And that defense is just, I think, going to drop them a couple of games. And I think Baltimore ultimately wins that division by 3 games probably. So I like the Ravens a lot. Starting off, that's probably my Super Bowl favorite team right there. Yeah, I have the Bengals winning or second in that division because I don't think the Steelers or the Browns come close to those top 2 teams. I do have the Steelers over the Browns, but I'm as off of them as I probably could be. I really like their season win total under. It's not something I've bet yet, but I probably will. I just don't like when you get the hype of the Rodgers, the DK, the Jalen Ramsey. I just feel like we've seen it time and time again, and it just never really goes well. And then obviously the line being set at 8.5. I think a lot of people are going to say, well, Mike Tomlin's never had the losing season. Now he has Rodgers. I think they're going to be a dumpster fire. So I would peg them for closer to 5 or 6 wins. Browns are going to be bottom of the barrel. Shadur probably won't even start regular season on that roster. I think he gets cut in August. So, yeah, they're just a complete mess. But, yeah, I love the Ravens. Bengals are going to be the Bengals. I think, they're going to scare people and probably be a little bit better than they were most of the year last year. Then, yeah, I'm pretty far out on the Steelers and the Browns.
Unfortunately, gun to my head, I'm like that one fish that they were trying to stick celery in his mouth or something. He goes, oh, I think I would pick the Ravens also. I hate it, but I've been backing my Chiefs year after year after year. I don't think this is a fall off year 4. We'll get to them later, but I do think the Ravens are probably the most complete team. I think they're solid everywhere. I have them finishing, might be a little high. I think they're going to finish around 12-5. I think they're going to be really good. Wyatt, I've been saying the same thing about Derrick Henry for years, and we're going to be right at one point. But you know what? If I'm wrong about him this year, I finally don't have to talk about Derrick Henry like this next year. So I do like the Ravens this year. Bengals and Steelers are like, if you put the Bengals offense and the Steelers defense on a team, that's a hell of a team. Too bad these are both very one-sided teams. I saw somebody posted today on Twitter, like some rapper tried to buy OnlyFans for like $25,000 and it's worth like $8 billion or something. And they're like, this is how the Bengals front office deals with defensive players. Just lowball the heck out of people. Teams don't really want to play for them. So it's like a coin toss. I don't think the Steelers are going to be terrible. Don't think they're going to be great. Apparently, there's reports coming out that the tackles are struggling. They're having difficulty running the ball. That really scares me, especially Rodgers as his career's gone on. He loves his deep threat receivers, and after that, he'll love DK. I think DK is going to have a hell of a year for fantasy, but I worry outside of that. I think there might be a lot of dump offs, a lot of throwaways, which is going to hurt this this offense. So I have both of them like 9-8, just like right around there. Just solid, respectable numbers. And I actually think the Browns are going to be better than we're giving them credit for. And I'm saying that with this expectation that they're going to be like 6-11. So I'm not saying they're going to be good, but I just think with Stefanski and that defense, they're probably going to win a couple games and surprise us. Like they're probably going to win 2 divisional games, maybe win a couple others. Don't have too hard of a schedule. I think they'll get a couple wins here just based on that defense alone. I'll start with the AFC South because I'm not going to do that to you guys. It's a horrible division. We might be all over the place on this one. I think this is the worst division in the AFC, not the league, in the AFC. Texans, I'm going to give them the win at 9-8. I think they're going to struggle. I don't think they're ever going to hit their stride this year, especially looking at their schedule. It's like up and down all year long. And you know what? A couple of those, they probably get tripped up by the Texans or the Colts or the Jags or the Titans even. Like the Texans could be one of the teams that I don't know if they play the Browns. I did look at the schedule, but I don't have it in front of me right now. Like they're one of those teams that can lose to anybody any given week. So I don't love the Texans. I think they're going to struggle this year. And the Colts and Jags, I have them like around 6-11. I know a lot of people think the Colts, they've been good in past years, but doesn't this feel like we could be in like a quarterback controversy all year long? Like, I forgot, we were talking about someone earlier, like a couple seasons ago, where it's like, is it player A or player B? And the answer was neither of them. They both suck. That's kind of what I feel like. We got Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson, both bad quarterbacks. I actually think Daniel Jones will be better if we're talking about pure passing the ball. Anthony Richardson, I don't think he's ever going to get there. So I think they're going to be kind of stuck in mediocrity, just like the Jags. You guys wasted like your future and current picks on Travis Hunter, a guy that's small, going to get hurt, very likely. And Titans, I think they're going to be 5-12. They got Cam Ward. They're still going to suck. They're still not a very good roster. I don't believe in the coaching staff they have over there. Titans, I think, are going to be another top 5 pick, maybe. Ethan, what do you think?
Yeah, I almost completely agree with everything you said. I hate this division, first of all. I don't even know where to look. I won't have any futures on this. Well, any team futures. I might have some player futures. I actually gave one out in the futures video last week. So if you haven't watched that, go back, watch that episode. But yeah, this division to me looks like the NFC West when the Seahawks made the playoffs at 7-9 with the Beast Quake against the Saints. That's exactly how I see this division. So I also have the Texans right around 9-8 as your division winner. I also have Daniel Jones winning the quarterback job. I actually think he'll be better than decent, though. I actually think Daniel Jones is going to have kind of a resurgent year.
Really? Okay.
With Indy, I think their defense is going to hurt them. But I think Indy's probably an over team from the jump. I think they're going to put up a lot of points offensively, give up a lot defensively. But I do have the Colts edging out the Jags. Pause. To finish second in that division, and then Jags third. Maybe the Colts are. We'll say if the Texans are 9-8, maybe the Colts are 8-9, Jags 7-10. I think if the Jags probably don't win the division this year, I think Trevor Lawrence he might be gone. Yeah, I mean he's really got to do something here to win this division. And then Titans last. I don't think that's really much of a question. I think I'd put them closer to 4 wins, maybe even 3. Yeah, not too high on the Titans. I don't think anyone is, but I don't like that division at all. I will, though, be looking for Colts overs early and often.
Well, looks like I'm just going to be the dark horse every division here. You're going to see a reoccurring theme one more time at least, and I'm going to go the new coach. His first year it seems like they always have a good year. We saw it last year with Harbaugh. See it all the time in college football. Usually in college football, it's because of the good recruits the coach prior brought in. Obviously, there's no recruits in the NFL. But we do have a new coach, and it is Duval with the Jags. Yeah. So I'm going to take the Jags to win this one. I think T-Law is the best quarterback in this division. I know C.J. Stroud is pretty solid, but, if you can't beat Michigan at all, then how good of an NFL quarterback are you? But, we all know T-Law is capable of it. We've seen glimpses of it. Last year sucked, but the year prior was pretty solid. So I'm going to take the Jags. They're plus 290 to win it. I'm going to take them. I'll take Houston second. Maybe they squeak in a wild card. I doubt it with how bad this division is going to be. But we saw C.J. Stroud struggle last year. I still think he's going to struggle a little bit more. I know he had wide receivers go down with injury, which didn't help him last year, but kind of seems like a one-trick pony. So, we'll take Houston at 2. I'll take Indy at 3. And then you would think, drafting a quarterback for the 3rd straight year, that Tennessee would be better. But that's not a recipe for success. Keep drafting quarterbacks that keep on sucking. Cam Ward, he's kind of a playmaker, but makes terrible decisions. He doesn't have any playmakers on offense. He's going to have 4 turnovers a game. I really struggle seeing Tennessee doing anything. They're, in my opinion, going to be one of the bottom feeders of the league. 6.5 wins the outright. Take the under of that one. Jags to win it. AFC South plus 290. You're going to see it one more time with the reoccurring theme of new coach. Take the over. But I do like Jacksonville this year.
I just want to say one thing before Ethan talks. I need to get this out there. I like it more than your Steelers pick. And everybody in the comments, you leave Wyatt alone. He's putting his meat on the table for you guys here every week. He's the one being brave. So get out of the comments roasting this man. Ethan, go ahead.
I also like it more than the Steelers pick. I just have to say, though, rip to half of Ben's meme folder because once Will Levis was ruled out for the year, half of that thing went useless. So sorry, Ben, you're going to have to find some new content this year.
That's all right, man. That's all right. I'm sure the Titans will provide me with plenty anyway. Actually, you know what, Ethan? You lean back a little bit. You let that camera get a good gander at you. We're talking about Josh Allen, the AFC East. Why don't you start this one, man?
Yeah, AFC East, maybe the AFC least. I saw Wyatt's picks last week. Maybe he will throw a little curveball into here, but I think the Bills run away with this division. Easiest schedule, favored in all 17 games this year. They probably win 14, 15 games, some of which are probably very easy. I could see them being like the Lions of last year who had a very easy schedule. Blew out Jacksonville. There was no way they could do it again to the Titans the very next week, blow out the Titans.
Yeah.
I think they just really put a beat down on the weak teams this year. And, they'll have some close games. Week 1 against the Ravens is going to be a fantastic football game. But I think Bills run away with this division. Patriots second. I know their line is set pretty high, 8.5. I think they're right around there, 8 or 9 win team for the Patriots. I think just below them is the Jets. I'm actually a little bit higher on the Jets, I think, than you guys both are. I think the Jets with Justin Fields are actually going to be decent. They brought in so many pieces to really make that push last year with Rodgers. Never panned out, but I think that was a Rodgers problem. So now they still have all these weapons. They
Hey, you don't say that.
Good defense. Yeah, not a Rodgers guy anymore. Yeah, I think the Jets are actually competitive this year, we'll say. I put them right around the 7-8 win mark as well. I think the Dolphins are the bottom feeder of this division, probably 5 wins. Still have all the speed in the world, but maybe Mike McDaniel, first coach to be fired this season. He's definitely going to be on the hot seat. I don't see the Dolphins being anything spectacular. Tua out by week 3. Probably a decent bet as well. Yeah.
I knew it was coming. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, these are all futures, so they got to be plus money, right? I can't take a minus 310 Buffalo Bills, even though I do love Josh Allen. New coach, take the over, right? Aaron Glenn. Just kidding. I don't think they're going to win a game this year. I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. I think the Jets are going to be the worst team in the league. I think Aaron Glenn is a terrible, terrible coach.
They're going to beat your Steelers week 1. Book it.
Okay. I think they're going to be so freaking bad. They're going to be so bad. So we'll start at the bottom here. Jets at the bottom. New coach, I don't care. He's not a good coach. I completely agree with your take, Ethan. I think Miami is going to be absolutely miserable as well. Their wins at 7.5. I would take the under in the heartbeat for Miami. I think not. This was college. I think college football, the University of Miami doesn't leave the state of Florida until November 1st. This is the Miami Dolphins. But if they do play in any cold weather game, we know they're screwed. They're going to get beat up by this division. Maybe not the Jets because the Jets aren't winning a game. But Miami's going to have 3 wins and be absolutely miserable. And then that leaves a 1-2 spot. And yes, this is the biggest favorite, Buffalo Bills on minus 310 to win the East. But I'm going to have them finishing second. I'm going to have them at 11 wins, and I'm going to have the Patriots at 11 wins. New coach, Mike Vrabel, going back to his old team that he played for. Drake May is my favorite sophomore quarterback this year. I'm going to draft him in a couple fantasy leagues. I know they made an addition at wide receiver with Diggs. That's not much. He's an old man. I'm not looking for Diggs to do much, but I think they still got Polk, who I think will have a breakout year, and they got Bourne maybe. I mean, their wide receiver crew's it's not great, but Drake May showed a lot of glimpses of greatness last year, and I think he's going to continue to do that. I said in our futures episode last week, they had 4 wins last year. Now their win total is at 8.5. They didn't make that many good changes besides a great head coach and Mike Vrabel. But like Diggs isn't going to propel them to 5 extra wins. So it just seems a little fishy. It's kind of like, it seems kind of like the Chargers last year where, I think they're 5-6 wins and their win total is at like 9.5. We're like, what's going on here? Then the Chargers won 11 games last year. So I think this is going to be the same thing. I think this is going to be down to the wire. I think I'm going to be happy in week 17 when New England and Buffalo, or maybe Buffalo's up a game or they're tied, and I'm sitting there with a plus 475 for the Patriots to win the East. I think that's going to be a pretty good bet late in the season. I don't know if they're going to pull it out. Obviously, plus 475 is a little bit of a long shot against the biggest favorite to win their division in football. But I kind of love it. I'm a big Drake May believer. I'm a big Mike Vrabel believer. Too good of odds for me to pass up for a team that I think is going to get double-digit wins. So give me the Patriots. Again, I have 3 hot takes going. I know it won't be as hot for the West. But I am very high on the Patriots this year. And I do love my boy Josh Allen. They're going to make the playoffs. We all know it. Hopefully, maybe this is the year they can finally win a big playoff game. It hasn't happened yet, so I don't know. But I do like me some Josh Allen. Should have worn my Bills shirt today. But odds are too good for my Pats, so I'm going to take a shot at Patriots.
I saw a video of like Haley Seinfeld and Michael B. Jordan. They were like on some Hot Ones episode, and he like walks over, starts kind of flirting with her, and then it was just an edit, and it flipped over to Josh Allen highlights, and dude like slamming the Josh Allen for MVP this year. I agree, man. That edit's got me hyped. I love the Bills this year. If you watch the Futures episode, they were one of my picks for the best record in the league for the regular season. Really think they can do it. I can't remember, once again, I don't have it right in front of me, but we were talking about on that episode. They play their division, all those teams twice. Then the AFC South, correct? The AFC South? No. Yeah, the AFC South and the NFC South. Because they play like the Jags and Titans, and they play the Saints. Horribly easy schedule. So I love the Bills to win. Patriots, I do like the variable addition. Travion Henderson they added. Will Campbell they added. I have the Patriots at 2 at like 8 and 9. I think that 8.5 is a really, really sharp number. I'm staying away. I don't want to touch that. I think they're just going to dance with that. And that's coming from somebody who is kind of a I don't want to say Drake May hater, because I don't hate him. I'm just not as big of a believer as most people. Bobby has just been roasting my ass about that. He is so mad that I'm not in on Drake May. So when we get into fantasy season, you'll see some fights over that for sure. And I'm kind of split in the middle with you guys. The Jets. I have them at like around 8 and 9. I think their roster is really
Jets?
good. I said around. I didn't say at 8 and 9. I said around 8 and 9.
Oh,
so I'll go all the way down to 6 wins, but I'll go up to 8. They might even
0.
flirt with
They
9.
don't win a game.
Oh my gosh! Come on now.
Week 1.
Week 1, yeah.
1-0 after week 1.
Say it, Ethan. Say it with your chest. But I'm a little bit more on Wyatt's side in the regard. I agree with you. I don't think that their new head coach is a great fit. We're seeing all these guys that are winning are these like offensive-minded head coaches, and just the like days of the Bill Belichick's, these like defensive-minded guys, and nobody would say besides Vrabel. But once again, Vrabel very run heavy, and we have to see if his running backs can even hold up, because he had Derrick Henry. It's very easy to be a very good running team with Derrick Henry. Travion Henderson think is good. We'll see about
Ramondre bounce back here.
Maybe the team
if
seems
that
like
guy fumbles, Vrabel's gonna execute him, so he's not fumbling this year.
Yeah. And then I'm with you guys on the Dolphins too. I actually had the Dolphins at 8 and 9 just because their schedule was so easy. So yes, I have like all those teams at 8 and 9 to finish out. But you guys kind of talked to me. Even they were initially my third team. I moved them down to 4 mid-episode. I don't think they even get 8 now. I just really don't. McDaniels does seem like the first coach out, and I know they've been talking a lot about it on like ESPN, Fox Sports, about McDaniels just like not being that guy, and there's no identity to that team. And I wanted to get your guys' opinion. They were talking about Andy Reid going out in the playoff game. He said, he's just wearing his regular stuff, his mustache froze, and his guys are like, yeah, we're tough. And they said McDaniels looks like the coldest man that there's ever been, all bundled up, doing vape tricks on the sideline. Do you guys buy into that at all? Because I don't. I'm like, these guys are there to play and win. I don't think they're looking at their cold coach, and that's why these guys are losing. Or do you guys buy that at all?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm not a big McDaniels guy at all. And if there's one team in the league that you're questioning their toughness, it's the Miami Dolphins, 100%.
Okay.
Does that start with Tyreek Hill being a little sissy, or Tua?
Right.
I'm not going to call Tua a sissy, but just very injury prone. And then their record against cold weather games, and then they get that kind of coach with skinny jeans and just has the most bizarre interviews, smokes probably a shitload of weed. It's just not a good fit. Like, they need some toughness there, and there's just none. They're equivalent to their university counterpart in the Miami Hurricanes. Zero toughness, zero discipline. It's just not a good formula for success. And they don't have the guys like Tyreek Hill's getting up there in age. Yeah, he's still probably the fastest guy in the league, but he sucked last year. And I don't think it's a good fit. And, it would work out like maybe if you had like USC, like this is kind of the USC. Like, they have a very sharp offensive-minded coach with a bunch of flashy players. I don't think McDaniels is as sharp as the rest of the coaches in the league. Maybe he's better than some, but their flashy players are kind of dwindling out as well. I know they got, obviously a couple wideouts and running backs, phenomenal, but toughness goes a long ways. It really does, especially when you're playing playoff games and in the Chiefs Stadium, Arrowhead, in sub whatever temperatures. Like, you're going to dwindle out real fast. Also, I know this is NFL podcast, but bring back not just for the first round of the playoffs. Every single playoff, home field advantage. Make these sissies from the SEC play in the big house in January. Like, let's do it. The NFL does great at that. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, I don't know how to follow that up, but yeah, no, I agree. McDaniel, yeah, just not a good fit. They drafted another like extremely fast guy this year, didn't they? I forget who that was. I'm pretty sure
Probably a guy with low T.
Yeah, it's just like they're going. It's like they're drafting track stars to win NFL games, and that's great when you get open field once a game, maybe. So, yeah,
everyone's fast in the NFL. Like it's college. Like there's a speed differential with good. Everyone's fast in the NFL. Like you're not going to have the fastest team.
Yeah. There's so many smart people out there that are just their street smarts are idiotic, and that's probably McDaniel. I mean, he went to Yale. There's no doubt he's intelligent, but yeah, I think the toughness. I think you hit the nail on the head with that. I do have to go back though. I will strongly agree with you, Wyatt. I think Drake May is the best sophomore quarterback. Bo Nix right behind. I would actually put Jane Daniels probably third, if not even. I'm trying to think of who else is even there.
Caleb.
Oh my
of course.
God.
Yeah, not Caleb.
Bro.
Not Caleb. Yeah, I'm definitely on the Drake May hype train. Bo as well. I like them both. Gunslingers.
Shit, man. This episode is brought to you by Astroglide. Ollie Gordon is like the only fast offensive player I can find on here. It looked like they went more like offensive guard and D tackle to start. They took
Ollie's good. Just don't give that guy a beer and his keys. Then he's no good.
That'll fit in with the rest of the guys.
Let's talk about the last division, guys. The AFC West. I'll try to keep mine short. This is actually the first year I had a really hard time deciding what to pick. I'm going with the best quarterback and best head coach in the division. I'm taking my Chiefs. Very hard schedule this year. Like very, very hard. We kick it off with, I believe, the Chargers in Brazil, and then we get to come right back and have a Super Bowl rematch against the Eagles. I'm not really worried about the Super Bowl hangover. These guys, and also I've kind of been saying it like it's marked on my calendar that the Tyreek Hill trade, all those rookies and stuff, I believe this is their like final year. This is the fourth year. So like if you're going to fade the Chiefs, I would definitely be looking at it next year because I think we're going to be losing a lot of guys. I hope we get to keep McDuffie. If we don't, that's going to be a really big problem for us. But Chiefs, I have them at 11-6. I don't love that. Chargers I also have at 11-6. So that is the team I have that if they're going to squeak out. And once again, people have been saying the Chargers are going to win this division for about 14 years now, and I don't know if they've won it once in that time. Easy schedule for them. Very, very easy schedule. And the Broncos are super solid. I have them at 10-7. Like I think getting Ingram was huge for them. Sean Payton, very good about utilizing tight ends. I think that was just a huge signing for them with Ingram. Raiders 5-12. Maybe they get 5 wins. They seem like they're going to be bad. I like that they got Pete Carroll. They got Ashton Genty. Their offensive line's decent, but like you got Geno, Brock, and a bunch of
your boy
dudes.
Geno. I thought you were going to be a little higher on him.
Dude, I love Geno, bro. You know I love Geno, but it's the Raiders, and their team's just not very good. Like, people are like, oh, Max Crosby. It's like, I personally don't think he's, like, one of the top dudes. Also, that's just the only guy you have on defense. Christian Wilkins gone. I don't like the Raiders this year at all.
I was kissing someone's forehead.
Oh, gosh. Why don't you take it away, man?
Yeah, this is my first division where I have the favorite winning. I do have the Chiefs winning this division, minus 120. Yeah, minus 120, according to DraftKings. I do have them under 11.5 wins. I have them right there with you, Ben, 11-6.
Yeah.
Like you said, very tough schedule. So 11.5, I think that is a plus number. So under 11.5 might be a little minus, but it's going to be, I think, the closest this division has been in a long time. Like you said, the Broncos and the Chargers are kind of on the come-ups. I'm actually going to go Denver at 2 here.
I don't hate it.
Just for the additions that they've made. Bo Nix, I think he's just a little bit behind Drake May, but I think he's gonna have a great year. Getting a really solid tight end is really good for a young quarterback as well. Can they get the run game going? That's the big question because it's been ass the last couple of years. But who'd they just get? Didn't they get a running back?
The Broncos.
Yeah,
Harvey, RJ Harvey,
and they got another
Dobbins.
dude, Dobbins. Yep. So good. Finally, a good running back core. And then I'm going to take the Chargers at 3rd. Their win total's at 9.5. I kind of like that under. I know they had a pretty good, solid first year under Harbaugh. He is my guy. Love Jimmy to death. But cakewalk of a schedule last year. It's still pretty easy this year, but I think we're going to get a little bit of a slump. Not as much. I still think they might contend with maybe for a wild card spot. If they do make the playoffs, I don't hate them winning the AFC. It's plus 1,400. You got a veteran quarterback in Herbert, really good coach that's won playoff games. So that would be my favorite conference bet. I know that's saying a lot, getting the Chargers to go to the playoffs and not even win the division. But, they have I think Herbert can maybe propel them if they get a lucky draw in the playoffs. Then I do have the Raiders at last. No surprise there. They're plus 2,000 to win that division. I think the Raiders are going to be a little bit better than we think. However, 6.5 wins is a lot for a team that's just not going to be good. I think they're going to finish right at 6, maybe pull out 7 in week 16 or 17. But Genti is going to be a beast. We know how much Pete Carroll loves his hard-nosed running back. He had Marshawn Lynch for forever. Geno can make things happen. Their wide receivers are going to be a little bit of a question mark. And their defense is going to be miserable. So I think they'll finish at 6 wins. They're going to be better than the Jets, the Titans, maybe even the Dolphins and the Browns. So I have them over those bottom feeders. But, they're going to struggle in this one. But it's going to be a very close AFC West. I'm looking forward to the battle. Chiefs at minus 120. How many times have they won this division in a row, Ben?
Oh, God. Is it 7 now?
Okay. Yeah. This is going to be the
right
closest. I think this is going to be the closest in 7 years it's been, but I still think they pull out the division win.
We need to do an episode. I know we were talking about we might need an extra filler episode. We need to do one on our enemies. So for Wyatt, it's the Jets. For me, it's Drake May. Ethan, yours is still. We got to figure out yours. It might
be Rodgers now.
Yeah, it might be the Steelers.
It might be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll stick my neck out a little bit in this division, but I would never suggest betting it. I have the Chargers winning, and I would say, in my head, it would be a tiebreaker with Kansas City.
Yeah.
I think 11 wins sounds right for both teams. I actually think the Chargers get the leg up in week 1. I think it's a bad spot for the Chiefs in Brazil, bad field conditions with the Super Bowl rematch on deck, with the potential of a Super Bowl hangover.
At least no teams are green, so we don't have to deal with gang violence.
Yeah, true. You'll probably never see another green team play in Brazil. Or they'll do like a color rush jersey, but I think I'm having a hard time with the Chargers because I'm almost fully out on Justin Herbert at this point. I think if he doesn't do it this year, the guy is just, in my opinion, right now, and he could prove me dead wrong this year, so overrated. We talk about this guy like he's a top 5 quarterback. He's never done a damn thing. But I like Harbaugh. I like they're building it the right way in the trenches, O-line, D-line, running game. They brought Keenan Allen back just the other day, which he's old. He's not great anymore, but with some familiarity there, he could be decent. So I just think the Chargers are building in the right direction. I do think the Chiefs have a slow slip up here. Obviously, they won, was it 15 games last year by one score?
Yeah, they won 15 games total. I don't know. But a lot of them were close.
Their record in one-score games was just unheard of. Maybe it was 16 straight or 15 straight going back to the previous year or something. If any team can replicate that, it's going to be the Chiefs because, I think there's a little luck in that, but they're also, that's kind of the way they're built to out-coach and out-quarterback you at the end of the game. But you'd have to think there's going to be a little regression towards the mean there. So, I'd put both of them right around. Honestly, Chiefs could win anywhere from 10 to 15, and no number would shock me. But we'll put them both at 11. Chargers with the tiebreaker. Broncos, maybe 10. I mean, they're right there too.
Right.
Raiders, 5-6 wins for me. For the Raiders, not really high on them. But this is like the AFC South. I don't really want to get involved at all in futures on this division. I think I've gotten burned fading the Chiefs now for 2-3 years, and I'm kind of done doing that, at least from a futures aspect. And this is probably the year that it's going to pay out, but just not fun. So I'm done with that. I'm probably just not going to touch this division from a futures aspect. I'll handicap it week by week and just kind of see where it goes. But I wouldn't recommend betting against the Chiefs until it happens.
You saying that it reminded you of the AFC South made me think of like those action movie trailers where it's like the AFC South. What if the teams were good? The AFC West.
True.
At Wyatt, it's 9 years in a row.
Okay.
What a 9 years in a row. So I apologize. Got that wrong. Let's talk about our teams. So based on my the predictions I have here, I have the Bills at 1. Ravens at 2, Chiefs at 3, Texans at 4. Then I have Chargers with the first wild card, Broncos with the second, and Bengals with the final pick. This between the Bengals and Steelers. I had them both with the same record. Coin toss. I gave it to the Bengals. Who wants to go next? What?
Yeah, I'll go with what I said on the show. Do I believe it? Maybe. We'll start the Chiefs. I'll take the Chiefs. I'm just going to go playoff spots. I'm not going to rank them. I'll take Chiefs, Steelers, Jags, Patriots. Wild card would be Buffalo. Oh, boy.
Ravens.
Buffalo. Yeah.
Ravens.
I'm going to go Buffalo, Bengals, Chargers. I'm going to have Ravens missing playoffs.
Oh, my God.
I'm very low on Baltimore. I couldn't be lower on a team that's the favorite. Like, I really think it's going to be a tough year for them. I really do.
Oh, man.
Mine is basically the exact same as Ben's with the AFC West switch up. So it's Bills, Ravens, Chargers, Texans, and then Chiefs in the first wild card, Broncos, Bengals. So, yeah, I'm right. It's lockstep with the
teams.
Chargers and Chiefs being flipped.
Now, I know they were saying, I heard this too on, I believe it was Coward's show. He was saying about that, like every year, it used to be a whole bunch of new teams came in each year, and it's gotten less and less as the years have gone on. I don't see much change from last year. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing here. I believe I just have the Bengals. I don't know which team that kicks out from last year.
Steelers.
Was it Steelers? Okay. So I think it's going to be pretty similar. Is that what you guys think too? We might only have like one or two new teams. I don't see much surprises.
It's the year of the sharp. It's the year of the sharp. It's got to get back to normal.
Okay.
Square was last year as square could get. So maybe we see a little variation this year. I'm needing it because I'm going to try to continue to bet exactly like I did last year, which was the worst year I've had in my life. But it's got to get back to normal, man. Vegas can't take another hit like that, like they did last year in the NFL. So I think we're going to see a little variation. Obviously, with my picks, that's kind of what I believed, having some long shots in there. But it's probably not as much long shots as I said it's going to be. But I think one or two teams are going to surprise us and hopefully get a little – and again, my biggest team that's going to surprise is going to be the Patriots. I think they really squeeze in definitely to a wild card spot. I think they're going to have the biggest improvement from last year to this year. So, I'm banking on betting getting a little more sharp this year for how square it was last year. Just law of averages has got to get back a little bit to Vegas making a little money as opposed to going bankrupt in the NFL.
Yeah, I think I'm going to side more on what you were saying, Ben. I think I could see the Patriots getting in there, maybe knocking the Bengals out, but Bengals didn't make it last year, so that wouldn't be crazy. I guess the one thing I could see the Colts or potentially the Jags knocking Houston out, which would kind of be a big flip. I don't know. Part of me says the Colts are either going to be like 3-14 or like 10-7. Like, there's just really no in between. Either Daniel Jones is going to be really good or the team's just going to be awful. But yeah, I think it's going to be relatively the same up top.
Yeah.
The only quickly touch on the Colts. I think it was 2 years ago they had that really good season, which I still think they missed the playoffs that year. I think they screwed up their last game. I think they had 10 Pro Bowlers. That was a fantastic cast that they had, and they fell short of the playoffs. I don't think they had the same cast, and that's just kind of throwing me off because you guys had a great roster that year, missed the playoffs. I don't know. It's tough when you have good dudes and can't win.
Was that Flacco?
I don't know. It might have been.
That sounds right.
But they had JT. They had like 3 offensive linemen Pro Bowls. Their defense was nuts. They had that middle linebacker was a freak.
Yeah.
And I think they had Rhodes at corner. I don't know. They had 10 something like that. Crapload of Pro Bowlers, like one of the top in the league, and didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Since Luck retired, quarterback's just been shaky.
Yeah.
You didn't like the Phillip Rivers experiment?
I forgot about that.
I knew that was a deep pull there. Getting us out of here. I'm just gonna say, you know what? Let's just give our prediction because we're not gonna break down the whole playoffs. What your number one team would be coming out of the AFC for the Super Bowl? We'll just go down the line. If you have anything else, just add on top of it. I'm just gonna say Ravens. I don't got anything else to add. Ethan.
Ravens.
I'll take a shot on Josh Allen winning the big game. I'll take the Bills.
Okay. Alrighty. We are back next week, flipping it, doing the NFC. Thank you guys for watching. As always, please subscribe and tip your content creators. Hit that like button. Simple as that. Guys, we will see you next week. Peace, guys.
Later, guys.
See you guys.
Flexing on the haters, can't touch my score. Money like Jerry Rice, touchdowns galore. Week after week, always asking for more. Bling on the wrist, got the books on the floor. Listen in, cash out, page is swelling. Plays on the field, see me winning, never dwelling. Flagged on Vegas, they know what I'm selling. NFL bets keep the cheesy compelling. Flexing on the haters, can't touch my score. Money like